Right, I thought I'd make a video on this subject. I was just watching one of my favorite stucco YouTubers, and and he's really good. And I didn't see a video on this subject, but I haven't looked it up either. But there's something called fog coat, and there's a theory, and it goes around, and somebody goes around sells this stuff. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, being painters, but what it does is it's basically, they say, never paint your house. You should use fog coat because it doesn't seal your stucco, and it, is better than paint and all this stuff. And basically fog coat is the color from color coat mixed in with like a powder, and they use a stucco spray machine, and they wet your house down, and they put this product, they just spray it on with the stucco gun, and it lays on the surface of the wet home. And then what happens is they go, well, it brings all the color back, and now your color's all new again. This is a painted house, but they say that, this doesn't, it has all these selling points and all this stuff, and of course it's cheaper than paint. Think about something for a second. If it's cheaper than paint, do you think it's as good as paint? Okay, that's just one thing to think about real quick. So basically it's a powder that stays on your home, and it lasts a little while, and I'm going to tell you why it doesn't last as long as paint in a second. But it lasts a little bit of while, and it brings your color back on your home if you've never painted it. If you painted it, it won't adhere. You'd have to use a bonding agent, and even at that, I don't really think it would come out even or look right unless you put real stucco over it. Okay, so these are things to watch out for on that. Okay, people will sell this stuff. Apartment complexes buy it. They think that it's the best thing around. It's supposed to be better than paint. Come on. Now think about it. It's a color product that has no binder. Okay, let's talk about what paint is. What paint is a binder. A binder is a solution that they put colorant in that protects the colorant from exposure from the sun. That's what binder is. And house paints have binder, and because they have binder in them, that's what makes them paint and not stucco. That's why, stucco, people go, well, I never want to paint my house when I stucco it because it's not good for the stucco. Well, first of all, this is flat paint. Flat paint does breathe. Flat paint does not seal the surface like enamel. That's why you don't put enamel on your stucco. If you put on semi-gloss paint or gloss paint on your stucco, it's not going to last. So it's not going to be good for the stucco. It's going to last just fine. It's going to seal it up, and when you seal it up, the moisture stays in it, or it has no ability to get moisture. It's not good and healthy for the stucco. That's why I don't recommend putting enamel like satin or eggshell or anything like that on paint or on stucco. It's not a good idea. So paint has binder. That's what stops it from fading as quickly, and that's why stucco, if you paint it, can last up to like 15 years, where color coat starts to look bad in about 7 years. And it also gets, if you've noticed, if you have a house that's got color coat on it, it's never been painted, you'll notice down here where the water or moisture gets on the stucco, things tend to grow in it, like it'll dirt stain, and it will do things like that, which doesn't look good. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, it just doesn't look good. So again, what fog coat is, I don't know if I'm repeating myself, I just want to make sure you guys get this pretty clear, is basically a powder solution that has colorant in it that they spray on the stucco. Now, this is why I would not recommend, this is all my opinion, You guys can do whatever you want to do. This is why I would not recommend getting your house fog coated. Basically, they wet down the home, they spray this powder solution on it, and it doesn't have any stucco in it. So because it doesn't get mixed into the sand like stucco does, it doesn't last even as long as regular stucco. Okay, and what happens is little by little it starts to wash off the home. Now, or weather off of the home. Now, what happens at the end is, say 7, 8 years, it starts to look bad, just like stucco does. And you can take your hand, you can wipe it on the stucco, and your hand's white. Okay, it's white because the stuff is not adhering properly, and now you created a problem. So now what happens is you have this stuff on you have this powder on your walls of your house. You can power wash it. You can try putting a bonding agent over it. It probably isn't going to adhere properly when you actually go to paint it. So it's really, you can do damage to your home, in my opinion, by putting that stuff on, because you're creating something called chalk. And when you have that chalk on your house, now you're going to create a problem for a painter. So now a painter's going to come over and he's going to wipe the wall. He's going to go, oh boy, you got chalk on your wall. And technically, even the primer may have difficulty adhering to it, but now the house is going to have to get primered and painted. So you're going to pay twice as much money for making the mistake the first time. Honestly, if you want something done, if your house is faded, or your building or your apartment complex is faded, pay the money, in my opinion, get it painted. Look at the comments of the painters below. The guys who are painters, they will tell you that it is not a good idea to color coat. But some of the stucco guys, because they want to work, they are going to tell you, hey man, no, that stuff's great, blah 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 blah, whatever. And it's a sale. To me, it's just a sales gimmick. And it can be something that can cause problems for you later. Not a good idea to do that. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for liking this one. Please like, share, and subscribe.